All right. The fight of the night tonight, again, no shocker, was Sandoval and Rodriguez. They won $50,000. Performance of the night went to Rodriguez, who wins $100,000, and then Merriweather, he won $50,000. Congrats to them.
Dana, congratulations on your first Zuffa Boxing event. Obviously, look, you're going to be learning as you're going along, but when you look at tonight, how happy are you with the product? How happy are you with the production? And how are you with the evening? Yeah,
the fights were great. We need, we got a lot of work to do, but we'll catch our stride in the next 3, 4, 5 fights, and by the end of the year, we'll be where I want to be.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to reveal what you hated or anything, but what exactly do you mean by we have a work to do? Is it just?
I have a whole list of stuff that we'll go through on Monday, meaning me and the team. But like I've been saying, it took 25 years to get the UFC where it is today, and it is a very well-oiled machine, and we'll do it in much less time on the boxing side.
We did notice you were on the blue phone quite a bit at ringside. Is that just you were seeing?
Yeah, I was on the phone more than I'm usually on the phone. Nothing really bad, but just I have a certain, I know where I want this to be, and I'm impatient. We're building a whole new team here, and a lot of people have never done this before, so it's going to take some time. But one of the things that we wanted to do, and what we did a great job of, was if you watch this at home on TV, you don't feel like you were in the apex. You don't see any UFC stuff. It's all Zuffa Boxing, Paramount. We literally transformed the apex into what looked like a different arena tonight.
Yeah, I agree. And I saw earlier today, are you expanding the apex to 1,100 later this year? How exactly is that going to look in there? Because it looks like it's full already. Are you going to have to start knocking walls down?
What's the question?
Are you expanding the apex again later this year?
No. No, the expansion will be done in May. We expanded in that I don't know if you walked around, saw, we've got concessions and real bathrooms, and there's no pipe and drape stuff around anymore. But where you walk into the arena there.
Yep.
That's all going to be gone and pushed back. There'll be another box above there, and this place will be set for 1,100 people. There's 300 people here tonight. There'll be 1,100 people in May.
Will this be the home of Zuffa Boxing moving for the foreseeable future?
We have tons of deals in the works right now, so you guys have no idea what we already have in place is, it's bigger than what any promoter's done since King and Aram back in the old days, as far as television deals. And I'm just not ready to talk to you guys about all this shit yet, but what we have in place already is crazy for our first ever, boxing match under Zuffa Boxing.
Yeah, 2 more quick ones from me. If you look at Golden Boy, sounds like their DAZN deal might be coming up. Top Rank is not on TV. PBC doesn't really have a deal. You have the Paramount deal. Do you feel like by default you're already the biggest American boxing promotion?
How many, Nick, I was going to see if Dave Shaw was in here, but how many territories were we on TV tonight? 13 territories outside the U.S. we have TV deals in that we aired on tonight, not just Paramount.
So would you say you're already the biggest boxing promotion in America?
Listen, what I keep saying is I'm not coming out and saying, oh, we're the savior, we're going to do this and that. Judge us at the end of 26 by the work that we do this year.
Okay. And one UFC question, you've been asked about it a few times this week, but the bonuses, right? It's the first event under the Paramount deal. Have you guys come to a decision on what the bonuses for the UFC look like?
Yes. I promised them to somebody else, and I think he's here tonight, and you know who you are, and we'll talk after the press conference. That's it? Done with me?
Matt for Boxing Social. Dana, I just wanted to ask, you obviously got a global brand, and the UFC's, all everywhere. It's everywhere. Do you look at a guy like Callum Walsh, who has a lot of fans in Ireland, and go, you'd like to maybe do a show overseas and showcase him in a main event over there, and give something back to his fans as well, because he's a talent, and he put on a good display tonight. Yeah,
like I just said a minute ago, we're in 13 different territories around the world tonight, and we will add lot more over the next couple of months. And yeah, we're gonna travel everywhere with this, just like we do UFC.
When Callum was here, he was speaking about the treatment from Zuffa Boxing and how it's basically like the best in class. There's no favourites, whereas maybe suggesting in other promotional companies, other outlets, there's a favourite fighter. Is that what's going to separate Zuffa Boxing with the likes of the other promotions? The fact that we're not on one side or the other. This is about the best fighter.
I think a lot of things are going to separate us from other promoters.
Okay, thank you.
So the answer is yes.
Dana, what role does TKO have in the Zuffa Boxing?
They're the parent company.
Okay.
What do you mean, what role?
I mean, like, as far as in the production and all that, what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
When we want money, we call them.
Okay.
Danny right here. Andreas Hale, ESPN. I'm curious, Jael Pataya was here. He said he's going to be fighting here on March 8th. Can you confirm that?
Oh, yeah. Possibly.
Okay.
Yes. Thanks. Is that it?
Nope, got another one for you. You mentioned that there's other things that are in the works. I know that you had talked previously about the weight classes and things like that. Are you waiting for the Ali Amendment Act Revival Act to be passed before you do all those things?
Before I do what?
Like announce like the different weight classes?
No. That has nothing to do with that. Okay. Has nothing to do with that. I just want to get all of our shit together, I guess I would call it, and then I mean, as we start rolling out, I mean, just the deals that we have already that the world doesn't know about. I think that at the end of 26, people are going to look at it and go, holy shit, look what these guys did in 1 year.
Last question. Everybody that fought tonight, they all signed to the Zuffa banner?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody that fights for Zuffa Boxing is exclusively with Zuffa moving forward?
Well, I mean, this is basically the UFC model. And if you've heard me talk about boxing that's been around forever and created all this revenue, and at the end of the day, there's nothing there, we're going to do the exact opposite.
Right in the middle, Dana, this way.
Hi
there. So you talk about timing being important quite a bit. Now that this night has wrapped, how likely is Zuffa Boxing to happen if Apex doesn't open and have such a big part after the pandemic?
It's a great question, actually, and yes, you are right. I've been talking about timing for the last 3 days. Like everything else in my life, the way that this whole thing has played out, from Shake Turkey asking to have a meeting to, Nick leaving CAA and going to the WWE, TKO acquires the W. I mean, just everything as you lay it out and start to look at it, it's just, timing is everything.
Just one more for me. So we have Natalia Silva and Thug Rose tomorrow on the main card. How many women are you looking at adding to the Zuffa Boxing roster, given the success that you have of women in the UFC?
Yeah, I am, you know how I feel about the whole women's fighting thing now. So as of right now, I mean, Tom Loeffler was talking to me about a couple of female fighters that he really likes, but we haven't really talked about that yet. Ish Harrison, Tom, and his team. We haven't really got into that yet. But the answer is yes. We are interested in women too.
Dana, just to follow up on women's boxing, obviously the reason women in MMA have done so well is they're exactly the same as the men, but in women's boxing, it's like shorter rounds. Would you try and match the women and men's boxing, or would you be happy with it being different?
What'd you say?
In women's boxing, the rounds are shorter, right?
Okay, yeah,
In MMA, they're exactly the same. What's your philosophy on that if you brought them in?
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, in the UFC, women fight 5-round fights. Yeah, I agree.
So you would have women come in and box the exact same as men moving forward?
Never thought about it till you just said it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Cool.
Dana, right over here in the center. Just a Opatayo question. When he does go ahead and fight here, will it be at cruiserweight or will it be at a different weight?
We haven't talked about that yet. I mean, we just signed him, flew out to Vegas. He and I met when he got in town, and he's going to be here for a while. So there's a lot of things we got to talk to him about and what he's interested in doing. And but I don't know yet.
In terms of the philosophy behind the weight classes that you guys are having, can you let us know a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that, first of all, to explain to you guys, like I said, all the things that have been done that you don't know about yet and what we're going to do this year, this is all a work in progress. We haven't, it's like when we signed him, people were like, I thought you were only, listen, this thing's moving faster than I even anticipated, and everything's on the table. So we don't know. We'll sit down with him and figure it out. Literally, not just the Zuffa Boxing team, but the UFC too. All we have been focused on is this launch. It's all we've been working on, and we'll start working on other things next week. But really, all we were focused on was this launch.
In the teaser trailer, we saw you walking out with the belt. I'm not sure if you've been asked this about this already, but when do you anticipate debuting the Zuffa belt?
Something we got to figure out too. These are all things that are in the works. But when you got some real guys that make sense, and you get some real opponents, you put the right fights on, you start handing out belts.
In terms of the roster, is there like a sweet spot you guys are aiming for?
What's the question?
In terms of the roster overall for the boxing side, is there like a sweet spot you guys are aiming for?
As far as number of guys
total
under
talent?
contract?
Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't be opposed to, if we get enough of the right guys, we might even add more fights to the year. Anything is possible. We'll see how this all plays out over the year.
With that, anything is possible. Is it possible at all that you guys do work with the sanctioning bodies, or is that completely out of the question?
As far as when you say work with them, as far as what?
In terms of making unification.
Them coming in and doing belts
Yeah.
now. I'm not interested in that at all.
So going off of that, Dana, we're in the front here. There's no world where you could see a Zuffa belt on stage and say next to the WBC belt, if to have their titles fight, if the champions fight each other.
There's no.
So there's no world where if to have a Zuffa belt up on stage next to the WBC belt at a press conference, if the WBC champion wanted to fight the Zuffa champion.
Listen, I'm not going to say no, that we would never do something like that. Anything is possible. Yeah.
Dana, you already have Zuffa Boxing 2 announced for February 1st. That's a Sunday. Why, doing it a Sunday opposed to Friday? Is this all part of the test?
I actually like Sundays better than Fridays. So, yeah. We're again, all a work in progress.
And just a UFC-related one from the weigh-ins this morning, a pretty scary scene with Cameron Smotherman.
Yeah, he's okay.
Yeah, he's posted a statement, but he said he doesn't know what happened. He didn't cut that much weight. It's pretty unusual to him. I know we're not doctors here, but talking to any people, do you have any idea how that happens?
No. If doctors don't know how it happened, how the fuck do I know how it happened? You know what I mean? But could be nerves, could be, it could be a million things. People faint at weddings, I don't know how. Listen, I'm glad all he got was some stitches on his chin. He fell face first, no hands. First thing I asked Lene is, does he have his teeth? So that for a really scary, horrible situation, it turned out about as good as it could.
We had a couple other guys who did miss weight, though, David Figueiredo being one. Do you feel like weight cutting and everything you guys have done through the PI and the help you give these athletes now, is there still improvements that can be made on this situation with extreme weight cutting with these fighters?
Well, I think you can always make improvements, but it's always going to be a problem with guys cutting weight, and if they don't come to the PI for the help, what are you going to do? They're all grown men and women. If that's what they decide to do, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's always looking for an advantage.
Yeah. And lastly, I know you said all the focus is being on tonight. Kind of have to flip the switch to tomorrow. What defines success for you for UFC 324 tomorrow night in this debut?
Well, everything that we've done leading to now is what we do, and then as soon as the lights turn on tomorrow, it's not up to me anymore. Everything's out of my control. The fights need to be. Listen, if you look on paper, this card's as good as any card we've ever done. And now they just got to deliver. So a successful night tomorrow is, you know, what I think, 2 or 3 holy shit moments, and we had a good night.
Hi, Dana. Elaine Castro here. I just want to know your thoughts. The WBC president, Mauricio Solivan, sent out a press release yesterday saying that, you know, we need to see Zuffa Boxing for what it is, an attempt to take over the sport. What are your thoughts on that, and how do you see this kind of like hashing out with the other organizations?
So let me ask you a question. I haven't said jack shit about anybody. I might have said a couple things about Oscar De La Hoya because he's an asshole, but other than that, I haven't said anything about anybody. And will you work with the sanctions? No, I won't. No. Now, these are the same people that were complaining about me trying to amend the Ali Act. In their world and what they do, none of that is going to change, right? When did I say I'm coming in and I'm wiping out the box, I'm going to take over? I haven't said anything like that, right? And these guys can still operate and do what they do, how they do it. What difference does it make to them what I'm doing? I'm in my own little world over here doing my thing, and they can still continue to run their business and do what they want to do. I haven't said, have you got, somebody give me a quote that I said where I said, I'm going to destroy everybody and I'm going to take over boxing, and, you know, I'm still trying to figure out my production over here and you know, in the next 5 or 6 fights. Never once did I say any of that shit. That's what all these guys are saying. Never, right? Anybody got a quote from me where I said I'm going to wipe everybody out and take over boxing? No.
I definitely don't see that. I do see here that they clearly said that the WBC, WBO, IBF, and WBA is what it makes up boxing. What do you have to say to that? I feel like, you know, more than anything, I feel like they kind of feel a little threatened, or, you know, different people, you know, when change is around, you know, they kind of feel like they're walking on eggshells or anything like that. But what are your thoughts on him saying that boxing is compromised by these sanctioning bodies?
Well, I think that, you know, I don't want to work with them. I don't want to work with them, and my opinion is I have a completely different way that I think that I said this week. When we bought the UFC, I took everything that I loved about boxing and everything that I hated about boxing and implemented it into the UFC. And look how it worked. How do you think it's going to work for boxing? Right?
Coming from a boxing background, I was pretty taken back by the production, just the space, how intimate it was. So congratulations, and I'm looking forward to more Zuffa Boxing events.
I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, I felt like when you think about people who love boxing, been watching boxing for a long time, when you used to watch USA's Tuesday night fights and stuff, you know, they'd be at the Blue Horizon and some of these real, like you said, intimate type places where you can watch fights, and yeah, that's what it felt like. A little nicer than the Blue Horizon, but you get my point. But thank you.
Hello, Dana.
Yeah.
Here. In the beginning of the main card, after the first bout, a Russian fighter came to you and talked about something. I guess it was something about signing him to the UFC, or can you please share what was this conversation about, and can we see this kid in the UFC in the future?
That happens to me 52 times every time we put on a fight. A guy walks up and says, "Hey, I'm from here, and I connected him with Hunter, and I'm sure Hunter will connect him with Sean or Mick, and we'll see." But he came up and asked me to fight in the UFC, but we really didn't have a conversation.
Thank you.
Yep.
Dan over here. Congrats on tonight. I saw when Callum was leaving the stage, you had a couple of words with him. I know he's pretty hard on himself sometimes after these performances. So what was that?
He wants to knock everybody out. I said, you can't knock everybody out. It's not how the game works. But I love it about him. You know, how many jabs did he throw tonight? We got to get the stats on that. I don't know if he threw a jab. You know, he was trying to knock him out all night. So you know, that's his thing. That's what he likes to do. You know, and I said, you can't get bummed out when you don't knock everybody out. He fought a great fight against a tough guy with an unbelievable chin, and you went 10 rounds. That's part of the growing and learning process.
And I saw you were visibly excited. You gave the standing ovation to Julian Rodriguez and Kane Sandoval after their great fight. Did you get to talk to them by any chance after that fight?
Yeah, I got to talk to Julian, but not Kane.
What was that conversation like? What did you tell him?
I just said I've been here a week and I love it so much, and I want to fight as much as possible, and you know how much I hate that. I love that we have these these boxing guys that want to fight a lot. That's what you're supposed to do. Stay active, build a record, make a lot of money, and make people give a shit. Thanks. Go ahead. Yep.
Dana.
Yeah.
Hey, Dana. I wanted to ask you, it seems like what you're going to do is make the Zuffa belt as valuable as possible. There were some elite contenders in that building tonight, and we know that you've had conversations with some elite fighters, at many gyms throughout the country, trying to bring them aboard. Is that what the goal is?
Yeah. So the belt is only as good as the guy it's wrapped around. So as you continue to fight your way up the ladder, and you beat the best in the world, and you get the belt, you've fought your way through the gauntlet of the toughest guys in your division. And then the belt means something. And at the end of this year, we're going to go into this Zuffa Boxing #1 with a lot of undefeated fighters. Whoever's undefeated at the end of 2026, it'll mean something. That's my philosophy, and not because you have a belt that's been around for 50 years or whatever the deal is. You fight your way up to the top, and once you get that belt, there's no denying who the best in the world is in that weight class.
And I think you need the Ali Act thing to pass to award the belts, if I'm not mistaken. But are you happy with all the improvements that were made to it this week?
Yeah, I think that what we've done is we've done a good job of getting out there. And if you look at the vote, I mean, the vote, the people that were running the bill didn't expect the vote to be like that. They were expecting like 22-18 or something, and it absolutely killed it. So we've done a good job of educating them on why we think boxing is broken, and they agreed with us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right here, Danny.
Hi.
Ken Collins with Fight Hype. I know you talked about fights on Fridays, fights on Sundays, and you got UFC right in the middle. Sticking with your anything is possible theme, is it possible that you'll have ticket packages where fans will be able to buy a ticket package and it gets them into both the Zuffa Boxing and UFC?
Yeah, it's possible. Very possible. Good? Yeah? Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for coming out tonight. I appreciate it.